Welcome to Monkey Love Travel. My name is Jason, aka Mr. Monkey Love, and in today's episode, we are going to talk about 14 rookie mistakes you should never make on your Royal Caribbean cruise. Let's swing into it. Okay, so number one, it's critical one, not getting travel insurance. Please, please, please do your homework and research why you need travel insurance. And quickly, just because it's going to save you thousands if you need it and only cost you a couple $100 if you don't. Number two, not researching the ports you will be visiting. So you've already got your Royal Caribbean cruise booked and you know where you're going. I suggest doing some research on those ports if you haven't already. Know what time you're docking, what time you need to be back on your ship, what's in walking distance or at the port. Will you need a taxi to get to your destination? Things like that. Also want to be out on the lookout of any possible scams that may go on at that port. Just research, educate yourself on what's going on. It's going to save you some money, save you some time, and hopefully save you lots of headaches. Number three, bring a passport. Yes, on closed loop cruises out of the United States, you can sail with just an official copy of your birth certificate and your state issued driver's license. But what that's not going to do for you is if for some reason you get stuck in a foreign country, the passport's going to be your friend. The passport's going to help you get the things faster that you need to get done to get back home. Number four, not using a travel agent. Especially if this is your first Royal Caribbean cruise, a good travel agent, is going to save you time, money, and again, lots of headaches. They're going to help you through the entire process. If they're doing their job properly, you're going to have one of the best cruises and best first time cruises of your life. Number five, and this is another one where a travel agent's going to come in handy, picking the wrong stateroom. If you've already booked your cruise without the help of a travel agent and without the research, you might be in, for a crapshoot. If you've booked a room that could be below the main dining room, which is a lot of activity, and they get up early to start working there, you're going to hear lots of banging. You maybe you have motion sickness or prone to it. You aren't going to want a room in the very front of the ship or the very back of the ship. You're going to want something more in the middle. And one of the biggest thing is with Royal Caribbean, don't ever book a guaranteed room. Royal Caribbean notoriously sells out all their cabins and they overbook cabins. So guaranteed cabins are one of the first ones to get bumped. So you run the risk of possibly not being able to go on your cruise. Now they do make amends and they do make offers to entice you, to come back if you get, bumped. But nobody wants to get bumped. So I suggest do your homework and don't book a guaranteed room. Okay, number six, picking the right itinerary that works for you. Maybe you want to go to the ABC Islands. Okay, so you're going to need to do some research, and that's the Southern Caribbean. You're going to make sure you find a ship that's going there. There are a limited number of ships and the different times of the year that they go there. So again, do some homework or talk to your travel agent and make sure you're finding the one that fits you, is going to go where you want to go, and it's a ship that you want to go on. That leads into number seven, picking the wrong ship class that works for you and your family. If you want the slides and the wave rider and the iFly, you're going to need to find out which ships those are on. If you're not looking for those things and you want one of the smaller ships, more laid back and relaxed, again, you're going to need to know which ship those are. Okay. So, number 8, double tipping. So, we always recommend prepaying gratuities. It takes care of your stateroom attendant and it takes care of your main dining room staff. But there is no need to extra tip for all the other items. Okay. If your stateroom attendant or your main dining room are taking exceptional care of you, then by all means tip extra. Double tipping, that's not what I refer to when I'm talking about double tipping. When you purchase a drink package or a dinner package for the specialty dining, your gratuities are already included in those. You'll see an extra line item for them. So when I say no double tipping, it's those items for um, giving extra money. There's really no need. Number 9, exploring the options of any excursions. So let's say you want to go to Nassau. You've never been there and you don't know what to expect. So the ship always offers excursions, okay? And there are plenty of other third party companies that also offer excursions. Some are going to be less expensive, some are going to be more. The benefit for the ship is that they say they guarantee you won't be left behind if for some reason you are late. I don't necessarily know if that's true. I've heard stories where people have booked through the cruise liners and they have been left behind just because something happened and they could not possibly wait any longer. Now, when we went to Bermuda on our last trip, we did not book through Royal Caribbean. We booked an excursion through a local company, but we also had the benefit of it was going to be an overnight visit, and we booked it on the first night. So that allowed us the flexibility if for some reason it's late, we know we're going to be getting back to the ship just fine. Number 10, flying in on the day of your cruise. Please don't do it. You may think, oh, it's a short flight. We'll be in, we'll be out, we'll get right to our cruise port. In a perfect scenario, yes. But is flying always going to be perfect? Hopefully. But if for some reason your flight is late and you are late getting to the cruise terminal and getting on the ship, they're not going to wait for you. And all the money that you've had, put down on that ship that's non-refundable is going to be lost. If you have travel insurance, it may cover it, but it'll depend on the policy you have. Please fly in the day before, stay at a local hotel room, and get your transportation straightened out to get to the cruise terminal the following morning. It'll make your life a lot easier. Number 11, not taking care of the muster station drill as soon as you get on the ship. You do not want to be one of the people that's announced over the PA system, hey, Mr. So-and-so, family so-and-so, hey, you forgot to do your muster station. We can't leave until you come take care of your muster station. Please don't be one of those people. Get it taken care of. It literally takes 5 minutes and then you are free to enjoy your cruise. Number 12, not price shopping any add-ons. And when I mean add-ons, I mean the internet package, the specialty dining, the deluxe beverage package, things of that nature. The price on those fluctuates throughout the year. If you've booked your cruise, a year in advance or 6 to 8 months in advance, you want to make sure that you are checking in on the app regularly and seeing if the price goes down. So sometimes it'll be full price and sometimes they'll have a tremendous sale. Coming up, Black Friday is always a good time to check to make sure. There's always a good time to check to see if the prices have come down. And quite often around Black Friday, they do offer a significant discount. Okay. If you see it at a price that you like, go ahead and book it. If for some reason you notice the price has dropped at some other time, you are allowed to cancel and repurchase at the lower price. Okay? Number 13, right? This is something we like to do when we go camping that we've adapted into when we go cruising. So when we have our bags prepped, we like to make an inventory list of everything that's going to be in that bag. We will then take a picture of that inventory list so we have it on our phone. If it goes missing, we know what was in that bag. Okay. Now a pro tip: this is from my friends at Stress Free Cruising. So what they do from now on is they actually take a picture of the bag. So if that bag goes missing and they go to guest services, they can identify, what the bag looks like. Hey, we see this. We know where this bag went. There you go. All right. Make your life a lot easier, and you can thank Stress Free Cruising Squad for that pro tip. Last but not least, bring sunscreen and motion sickness meds. Even if you believe you're not someone who is prone to motion sickness, we suggest you have them and not need them, then need them and not have them. And with sunscreen as well, make sure you bring it. When you're going on your Royal Caribbean cruise, the Caribbean's in its name. It's going to a place where the sun is going to be stronger. You're going to be out at sea. You're going to be taking those rays on directly. Please bring your sunscreen. I hope that this video has been I hope this video has been beneficial to you. If you like these tips, please leave us a comment below. If you have your own tips that or mistakes that you think should be included in this, please leave us a message. We would love to hear from you. If you know someone who would benefit from this video, please share it with them. We would also love to have them as a subscriber. So until next time, swing into adventure.